Hello, it's delighting to see you again in the daily news of VITV Vietnam, following other major stories. The State Bank of Vietnam's governor says credit for agriculture is adequate. Vietnam's government regulates administrative sanctions in businesses planning and investment. As much as 70% of Samsung smartphones are made in Vietnam. Addressing the National Assembly on November the 20th, 2013, on credit to agriculture, farmers and rural areas, the State Bank Governor Nguyễn Văn Bình says the central bank encourages commercial banks to focus investment capital in agriculture and rural development. He says credit for farmers and rural areas has grown very quickly at the rate of 2.2 times within 5 years, accounting for 22% of outstanding loans to the economy, proportionate to the contribution of agriculture to GDP. With temporary rice storage program, the governor says sufficient fund has been provided not even a day late. Key products such as catfish has also been funded with large capital with outstanding loans at 25 trillion dong. Coffee trees have also been sufficiently funded. The government says coffee tree replanting is necessary, and banks have put aside 12 trillion dong package for coffee tree planting in general, and 2 trillion dong for Lâm Dong province in particular. Regarding lending to the poor, outstanding loans stand at 118 trillion dong. Average annual credit growth to the poor is 5 to 7%. Bad debt and overdue debts are less than 1%, ensuring capital turnaround. Currently, the State Bank of Vietnam has proposed to the government for lending to near-poor households to lift people out of poverty with sustainable poverty reduction. As of October the 31st, Vietnam Customs recovered 56% of tax area assigned to its agencies. To improve the situation, the General Department of Customs has requested provincial customs departments to enhance the effectiveness of recovery of tax areas. Accordingly, the General Department urges the agencies to enhance the recovery of tax areas, implementing drastic measures to ensure complete recovery of debt targets. It highlighted the importance of cooperating with municipal people committees to inspect and review local businesses' tax and sanction areas. The General Department of Customs also requires the agencies whose debt recovery does not meet their assigned year-end target to actively achieve the target and report to the General Department causes of slow recovery. Vietnamese government has issued the Decree number 155 regulating administrative sanctions in businesses planning and investment, in particular the provisions on sanction against administrative violations in business registration of enterprises, households, cooperatives and cooperative unions are highlighted. Accordingly, a fine of 10 to 15 million dong will be charged to violations such as incorrect business registration, incorrect changes in content of registration for businesses, branches, locations, dissolution. A fine of 1 to 2 million dong, 10 to 20 million dong, and 25 to 30 million dong for businesses failing to publish or publish timely the content of business registration in the National Portal for Business Registration as regulated, failing to contribute as adequate capital as registered, and continuing to maintain activities after its business certificate being revoked or dissolution announcement respectively. Besides, for enterprises which accelerate projects without being granted investment certificates, the decree stipulates a fine of 17 million dong and 18 million dong. The decree takes effect from January the 1st, 2014, and replaces Decree number 53 and 62. In related news, the State Bank of Vietnam is drafting a circular on management of foreign exchange for FDI activities in Vietnam. Accordingly, FDI businesses and foreign investors who want to make capital contributions must do it through a direct investment account. The draft circular stipulates that FDI and foreign investors who participate in a business operation contract must open a direct investment account in a licensed credit institutions to conduct foreign exchange transactions relating to direct investment activities in Vietnam. Unlike previous regulations, the draft circular does not demand that the direct investment account be in foreign currency. This provision enables FDI businesses and foreign investors to use legal capital sources in either foreign currency or Vietnam dong in Vietnam to make capital contribution. However, according to the draft, in the case of investing in Vietnam dong, FDI businesses and foreign investors who participated in a business cooperation contract must open the Vietnam dong direct investment account at licensed credit institution where they had opened the direct investment account in foreign currencies before. When doing that, the FDI and foreign investors must close the existing account and transfer the entire balance on each to the new one. Vietnam has emerged as the main manufacturing destination for South Korean smartphone maker Samsung, as it accounts for as much as 70% of the modern handsets sold globally. The Ministry of Planning and Investment revealed Samsung is doing market research to launch 1 or 2 more projects in Vietnam, each of which has a total registered capital of $1 to $2 billion. In March, the South Korean company broke ground on its second Vietnam facility, a $2 billion handset devices and parts plant in Thái Nguyên province. This is expected to be South Korean company's largest handset plant in the world. The Thái Nguyên plant is expected to produce more than 100 million mobile phones and 1 million digital cameras in the future. The 4-year tax-free incentive Vietnamese government granted to Samsung will expire this year. The company is thus expected to pay some 1.5 trillion dong or $750 million worth of corporate income tax this year. And coming up is some foreign trade news.
According to Korean Rubber Group, the country's natural rubber exports fell by 59% to 480 tons in October this year due to a fall in domestic production. In detail, production of natural rubber dropped by 7.3% to 83,000 tons during October in the current year, against 89,500 tons in the same period last year. Similarly, consumption of natural rubber has also come down by 3.57% to 80,500 tons in October this year. Total exports of rubber during April and October period in current year has fallen by 54% to 3,975 tons against 8,611 tons in the same period a year ago. Primary data from the General Department of Vietnam Customs show goods and products exports in October this year reached $520.5 million, up 15.5% compared to the previous month's figure. Accordingly, the product's turnover in January-October period shows 15.8% on year to $4.3 billion. The U.S. remains Vietnam's biggest market for goods and products, accounting for 36.5% of the total. It imported Vietnam's goods and products valued at $1.5 billion, increasing 9.31% on year. Despite advantageous geographic location, China ranks the second after the U.S. in the field, buying $797.2 million of good products from Vietnam, up 33.6%. Vietnam also exports goods and products to other markets such as Korea, the UK, Australia, Canada, Germany, and Hong Kong, with turnovers of more than $40 million.
A new coffee harvesting season has just started. However, the coffee price is continuously declining. Speculation and not selling products in December and January are solutions suggested by experts in this sector to keep the coffee price from further decline. More in our following report.
From the beginning of November, the coffee price has witnessed fluctuations. According to experts in this crop, the coffee bean price won't be at the lowest level in the last 3 years. In November, the coffee bean price was about 30,000 dong per kilo. Even it went down to 28,000 dong per kilo. Businesses said this price was even lower than the production cost. Therefore, losses are foreseeable for coffee growers. The export coffee price is also said to be be the lowest in 3 years. Hence, to keep the coffee price, according to coffee exporters and the association, farmers and businesses themselves should store coffee in December and January.
Với giá của người nông dân hiện nay, giá 30.000 hiện nay thì sát với giá thành của người nông dân và hầu như là người nông dân là không có lợi nhuận. Do đó tìm mọi cách để mà giữ lại giá cho người nông dân, trong đó có vấn đề tạm trữ. Mà tạm trữ ở đây là thứ nhất là người dân tạm trữ, cái thứ hai là bản thân các doanh nghiệp cũng phải tạm trữ trong vấn đề này. Có nghĩa là chúng ta không nên tập trung bán nhiều vào những tháng cao điểm như tháng 12, tháng 1 mà cân đối bán ở cái mức độ vừa phải để tạo điều kiện để cho giữ giá được tốt.
Temporary storage means avoiding selling coffee in the harvesting season, especially in December and January, because the commodity market is decided by supply and demand. Speculation and storage to wait for better price at first will lead to shortage, which supports and stabilizes the coffee price.
Tạm trữ mục đích là làm thế nào là giữ giá, thứ hai nữa là tạm trữ là tránh cái việc bán ồ ạt trong một cái thời gian rất ngắn. Ví dụ thu hoạch cà phê là chỉ có 2-3 tháng thôi, từ tháng 12 đến tháng 1. Nếu chúng ta cứ ồ ạt bán trong những thời điểm tháng 1 và tháng 12 thì chắc chắn là ảnh hưởng đến giá sẽ xuống.
Là nông dân giữ lại giá, ví dụ thế, giữ lại cái sản lượng cà phê trong nhà, hoặc là nhà nước, chính phủ cho phép tức là tạm trữ khoảng 2 đến 300 nghìn tấn cà phê và bán ra theo cái dạng nhỏ giọt, thì tôi nghĩ rằng cái giá cà phê nó sẽ phục hồi lại chứ nó không tiếp tục lao xuống dốc sâu hơn nữa.
However, it's not easy to store coffee immediately because not all farmers have good financial foundation to wait for higher price. There's only one harvesting season in the year, and it comes at the year end, so it's the income for farmers to spend during Tet and pay the debts for fertilizers and labor costs. All these costs are higher than the previous crop, not to mention a series of difficulties such as low productivity due to bad weather and large areas of old trees. So far, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, together with the coffee-growing provinces in the highland, in coordination with VITV, has agreed on government storage plan for the 2013-2014 period. It can be seen that businesses badly need the support from government agencies and banks.
Doanh nghiệp thì đối với người nông dân thì nên giữ hàng mà bán từ từ theo yêu cầu. Và cái thứ hai nữa là cũng kiến nghị với ngân hàng là làm nhanh các cái giải quyết, tạo cái thuận lợi để cho người dân được vay tín chấp 50 triệu để người ta vay và người ta có điều kiện để tạm trữ.
Coffee growers and exporters are facing lots of difficulties, including bad crop, low price, and bank loans. Therefore, they have to accept selling coffee at loss to pay for the debts. The support from government and banks are necessary for farmers and businesses to successfully store their products.
And before you go, let's check out today's update on gold prices, forex, and stock markets. And that's all for this edition of Into Vietnam. Thank you so much for your time with us and see you later.